reckon if they brought Sharia law into this country, it would make it better?
No, it's not happening.
That's happening.
No, because we're a Christian state.
Yeah.
You can't, like, there's...
We're so far right, you should be really scared.
What did they say to you again, sorry?
They call me a seller on Uncle Tom, that's what they call me.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. What can I say to that, man? Like, Tommy Robinson's a racist, but I'm like, send me a video when he's racist, innit? Send me a video, innit? Because they're brainwashed by the media. That's the anyone that says that you're wrong, you're black and this, and you should be on the black side or whatever, they're brainwashed by the...
Oh, I've seen migrants comes from Africa and other countries, and they rip up their passports. Remember a couple of years ago they were claiming to be kids, so they couldn't get deported because you can't deport a kid that came to underage. I sat in detention center for 3 months, married to an English woman. We want Tommy, we want Tommy, we want Tommy, we want
What's your reasons for coming today?
To protect this nation, bro. To protect our children, our flag, our culture, everything, bro.
How do you think you can go about protecting your culture and flag at this point? Yeah.
Well, you're branded as a racist, and I'm not. One of my best friends in the military was a black guy called Walford P. Horton. He was from Jamaica.
The channel, guys, it's Brown Boy the Traveller, and today I'm at a protest rally, and today everybody has come out, but the tensions are very high today as the current leader, if you want to call him that, Tommy Robinson, is now in prison. Like many of us are surprised that it's come this late, that he is now being remanded for false accusations, some would say. When he arrived on Monday in Luton Airport, like myself and the rest, thought he would have been arrested when he first entered into the country. It was only yesterday, Friday, the 25th of October, that he was arrested. It was my surprise as well that I thought that he would have got arrested on re-entering into Britain. But he's now been remanded and he's in jail. He's in custody. I think waiting is a trial for November the 13th, 2024. So today is a test, is to see how far they can really push everybody. I think people in the protest, to see how far everybody is willing to go, trying to, you know. So there's many protests today, but yeah, Tommy Robinson is now remanded in custody through not giving under the Terrorism Act. So he's arrested under the Terrorism Act, which I'm still bizarre about and can't get an understanding on why it's terrorism that he's arrested for. And you're probably wondering, why a protest? What is the reason for the protest? Well, it's a protest to save the country, some will say, to make Britain be Britain again, as many people of Britain, many ethnicities, black, white, Asian, are uniting and really fed up of the government. I think this is really a government kind of protest. The media will tell you that it's probably a race protest, but I think some people here and some elements of people here are fed up of how the country is and how it's being run.
England is the Bible, bruv, even if you believe or not. That's the way it is. In court, you've got to put your hand on the Bible. When you get married, you're going to church. When you have a funeral, you're going to church. Don't let them take away the foundation of England, man.
Yes, lad.
Amen. We call Jesus, not Allah Akbar. We call Jesus. We call Jesus over here. Believe or not.
Allah wasn't even a god, he was a prophet.
Don't get me started.
Spread the love of Jesus, bro.
Spread the love of Jesus.
Yeah, bro. The foundation. Tell them, remind these people where...
People say it's not a Christian country. How does that make you feel?
You know what? Basically, I'm not stupid, innit? I know that when you, as I said already, when you have a funeral, you go to the church. Yeah. When you get married, you go to the church. When you go to court, you got to put your hand on the Bible. When a president of America has been, becoming president, you got to put your hand on the Bible because the foundation is that. So I come here to just speak about that as well as just come here for England, my country, the people, humans, all nationalities, whatever. And
how do you think the current affairs in UK is today? How do you see the current affairs?
It's obvious that they're just letting in the immigrants because most of them are Muslim, and then they're just trying to go against Christianity. That's what people don't get. And Obama came here. Don't get it twisted. Everyone can't. But no one gets it. Obama came here when the riots started. Obama left the presidency, and then the lockdown happened. It's him. He's Shia.
Do you know what it is? You know, because I'm a person of colour. People say to me, I'm a sellout. I'm this and that. Because my granddad came from Jamaica. They're saying, how can you be against immigration if your granddad came from the West Indies? Have you ever had that sort of people say that?
No, I would tell them.
What would you tell them?
I would tell them. So the people that told you that you're going against the grain,
Yes, going against the grain. The norm, should we say?
And what did they say to you again, sorry?
They call me a sellout and Uncle Tom. That's what they call me.
They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. What can I say to that, man? Like, my sister and my brothers and that again, they're saying Tommy Robinson's a racist. But I'm like, send me a video when he's racist, innit? Send me a video, innit?
You think there's a difference between facts and racist? That's what people are getting mixed up between what he's saying facts and then the racism. They're getting it too mixed up.
Why are they getting it twisted? Because they're brainwashed by the media. That's the full. Anyone that says that you're wrong, you're black and this, and you should be on the black side or whatever, they're brainwashed by the media. And they're adults and they can't even admit that they've been wrong, and they can't admit that they're brainwashed, and they can't admit they don't understand. You know, they're ignorant.
Ignorance.
It's ignorance. That's what it is. It's ignorance. Instead of listening to what people say, they're just going off what the media says.
That's it. I'll ask one more question, one important question. What did you think about, was that the right decision? You know about the Chris Cabot situation with that boy that got shot down in...
That's a difficult one, so I don't really know much about that one, But what about the Manchester? About Manchester when they beat up the policewoman and kicked her in the face and all that? Where's that? None of them got arrested and all that. But they're not focusing on that. They're focusing, because what they do, I'm not saying the black thing is right and wrong. I don't know the guy. But every time there's an uprising or there's politics and stuff, like voting and stuff, they always get a policeman to harm a black person so they can make it all erupt with the black people and try and get the black people on their side. This is tricky. They keep shooting a black man just when the election started, or there's something about the politicians. So it makes the black people just rise up and start fighting and thinking it's against the police and all that, but it's all planned.
I think if we all unite, I think that's when they get scared.
And another thing, I'm not even joking, if they just read the Quran, they'd understand how your family members saying that you're a sellout and all that. Well, what happened when Muhammad's calling black people raisinheads? Why is it that he doesn't like black dogs? Why does
Who's this?
This is Muhammad in the Quran and the Hadith, right? It's saying about the blacks will go to hell and the whites will go to heaven. They don't even read their own book. But they're saying that you're a sellout. Come on, man, get it right.
Let's get it right. My brother, I appreciate that, Take care, Let's talk. Wow, okay, there you have it, guys. We just spoke to somebody now, so I have to bring that question up because I'm getting that a lot, so, but sorry. So I think we're moving this way now. It's a big turnout than what I expected. But about immigration in your country, how is it compared to your country to our country, the immigration? Because
I don't know here exactly. It's a big problem in the U.S. The sheer quantity seems unsustainable and problematic. It's expensive, and I don't think they're being set up for success, is what I would say. I want to talk to you more. Let's run to the front.
Okay, then let's run to the front,
Tommy get arrested. Why did Tommy get arrested?
Why did he get arrested?
Yeah.
You tell me.
What do you think?
Calm down.
If he speaks the truth. Okay.
For fuck all. Fucking what he cunts.
You come today?
To represent Tommy Blackpool in our country. It's for our country and our women and children. And this is England, and I don't mind sharing it, abide by our rules and our culture. It's a Christian country as well. all the way from Blackpool to represent them. Took me 7 hours to get here.
7 hours?
Yeah.
You're very passionate then, innit?
Always, mate. It's our country. Our grandparents didn't fight for this country for this to happen. And
what's happening now?
It's crumbling. England's crumbling, and the government are too blind to see it. They just want to do it because they want to get rich.
So how do you think England can? How do you think you can get your country back? How do you think England's going to change it?
By not silencing us, by having a voice, and all this eventually they'll listen.
Do you think yeah, you're from Britain? Do you think you're treated as a second-class citizen in your country?
Yeah, we're not dimmies. We're not dimmies. This is our country. It should be British first, not all the refugees. I don't mind them coming in, but just pay for our country. You know, I mean, don't come over our country and expect everything and give nothing to it. And it's wrong.
Oh, the Star David.
On a Muslim Moroccan flag.
Star David.
I'll go there every year.
You go to Morocco every year?
It's great, isn't it?
It's nice, isn't it? Casablanca?
I've been back a week,
Yeah.
Black town they're swearing at the police.
3 years for swearing at the police? Is that what you got?
Yeah. They let kidnappers out and shit to let them in to give a job.
But they will now
accept the culture.
Accept the culture.
Just accept the culture, that's all, yeah. Just Christian values. You have to be Christian, you whoever you want, colour, creed, doesn't matter. Just accept
How can they go about accepting the culture?
Right, just try and integrate. Those homes to certain people, if you don't want that, you can't have your own little area and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. It don't work like that. It's scary, because everybody else is scared. I go there to get the rush.
Get the rush?
To get the rush.
To go to Birmingham to get the rush?
Yeah, to Alan Rock, Washwoody. You know what I mean? You're from Birmingham. Yeah, just for the crack, mate.
Just for the crack, just say, yo, I'm out
here. Talking for the crack. No, I don't go just for the crack or the heroin, neither. You know what I mean? That's what's going. That's their little jihad, isn't it? You know what I mean? Get everybody on smack.
Why do you think he's the most hated government we've had, Prime Minister we've ever had?
He hates the people. There's no middle class anymore. You're either rich or you're a poor man. Yeah, there's no middle class.
There's no middle class.
It's sort of thing like that. But
you follow Christian
values.
How do you follow Christian values then, not being a Christian?
Manners and integrating. So set a social club up in Alan Rock. It wasn't an idea. Good idea, but it's not going to happen. Same as communism. Fantastic on paper. As soon as you give it to humans, nothing. Oh, dictatorship is work.
In some places, yeah. In most places,
Tell
like
me one. Go on.
I don't know. I'd say countries where they don't fuck about though. Like look, okay, all right. For instance, look at Libya when they had it. There was nothing. Now when the Americans come, they fucked it all up.
Yeah.
See, it did work there when Colonel Gaddafi was in power.
It worked at all. Gaddafi was in power. He's Iranians get in there.
Iranian, Iran, Good people. I say that though, because I hear this a lot that they're saying, yo, these people who come to this protest, they're just blaming other people.
I'm a self-employed sales rep. I travel the country, and it used to be £40 for me to stay in a hotel at my own cost. Now I can't get in hotels, only the dear ones, because the rest of them are full up with migrants. The government are paying them off. So it costs me £300 a week before I can even earn £1. Yeah.
It's an interesting. I work in Premier Inn, right?
Premier Inn.
That's where I used to go.
Yeah. So we've got a new hotel in Cambridge, right? It's open, right? We've got 50 migrants staying there. I had a homeless British man come off the streets the other night. I had to fucking turn him down because we've got migrants staying in the fucking hotel.
How do you feel that
There's a mixture in there, is it?
Yeah.
How do you feel being in there and you see all these migrants and like you're having to be professional? Like how is it like you just?
To be honest, mate, you've got to earn a living. So
you got to deal with it. Turn a blind eye.
Obviously, deep down, I'm obviously fucking fuming. But you've got to be. You've got to be. If your owner causing trouble in your country, ain't right. But if you've got fucking people coming over, I don't know, I'm trying to word it right, but it's hard, mate. It's not a safe country, as simple as that, and if it doesn't change, UK's a place to get out of.
Like, that's what they're saying. I think now they're saying that British people are leaving and migrants are coming. That was what they're saying.
It is, that's the thing. It's not a great country. There's nothing.
What is Great Britain, or what defines being Great Britain?
This is great fucking Britain.
come out and do this, it won't change.
Yeah, it won't change.
There could be 30,000 more. Nothing's gonna fucking
Nothing's gonna change.
Alright, so I lived in Australia for 12 years. I've got 3 kids, yeah, I know. I've got 3 children. They're born in Australia, so at primary school in Australia, no matter where you come from in the world, because Australia is one of the most multicultural countries in the world. Legal migrants, yeah? At primary school, at the assembly every day, they all have to sing the Australian national anthem. No matter where they're from, they have to sing it. Because they got to integrate with the Australian way of life. They have to do it.
That's just how it is.
I think I don't know if you into boxing?
Boxing a little bit.
Yeah, I think they had a big show with Anthony Joshua. Because I've been asking people today, they said no matter how many marches we do, nothing will ever change. So a lot of people say,
we've got to make it change. I don't know how, we've got to make it change.
You're going to make it change.
I mean, it's changing in Europe. People are making a change in Europe. You know, in Sweden, it's how far, like I said about the pendulum swinging back, if it goes too far, it's going to swing back fucking hard, mate, and it's that's dangerous. I mean,
no, I think I don't know. I think England we're too soft. I mean, to be honest, my personal opinion, I think it's gone now. I think it
may well be too late.
No one's happy here. You look around people, they look sad.
Yeah.
You go to any major town and you just sit there and study people, you would just look at them and it's just sad. But brother, you're very passionate, it's good.
Who are you interviewing for then?
Myself, I'm an independent. I'm not with no other.
That's good.
Are you ever scared of what people think towards you? Because, no, you're never scared.
No,
I am.
You are.
I'm careful what I say.
Yeah, we are careful.
And do you think? And I think that's a bit of a kind of a sad thing that you can't have freedom of speech. It's all gone.
We live in a dictatorship now. It's been taken away from us, isn't it?
I always say I don't think we.
There's always two sides
to every story.
And we all need to be listened to and have our
Well, what the current government's done in the last 2 months just destroyed us.
How do you feel migration can integrate? What's the best way they can integrate?
We need to stop migration now. We need to stop people coming, but integrate with our society.
No, we're overcrowded.
We are overcrowded.
From different cultures and things
economic
today,
migrants who aren't true.
They're integrating and they're working and they're contributing to our way of life.
It's a minority when everything you get, or you always get the minority.
But there's a minority that don't.
Yeah, my bro.
Alright.
Yeah. Where you from?
Doncaster.
Oh, Doncaster. Yeah, Doncaster.
Long travel to
A long way. Yeah. What's your reasons for coming today?
protect this nation, bro. To protect our children, our flag, our culture, everything, bro.
How do you think you can go about protecting your culture and flag at this point? Yeah,
peacefully, doing it properly, not rioting. We have to send a message to Keir Starmer that we're not going to back down, we're not going to be silent, and we're not going to shut up until we get our country back.
Do you think you'll listen to you?
If enough people come and enough people are more vocal, then definitely he's got to. He can't stay silent on this issue any longer. Look at the fucking people here, bro. Hundreds of thousands here. He's got to listen eventually.
A lot of people say no matter how many times you do these protests, nothing's ever going to change. They're still going to keep bringing more people in, more cuts, more taxes increasing, you know?
They probably will. But when we get to a point where the British public are so vocal about it, it can't be silent any longer. But the moment people start getting violent is the moment he's just going to start shutting the country down, and we'll all start getting sent to jail. So people have got to remain as calm as they can.
Yeah. So how do you feel about, like, they're releasing so many prisoners from prison? Like, what was your thoughts on that? They're just releasing just all these dangerous people on the street, and then people who protested last time are getting heavy sentences.
Well, it's just backstabbing the British people. Total backstab of the British people. They got all these violent criminals. It's clearing out prisons for these people.
What's the situation like in Doncaster? Do you feel like many people have been saying they walk down the street, they can't recognise it because it doesn't feel British no more?
It's getting that way.
It's getting that way in Doncaster. Okay.
100%, yeah. It's getting that way. I mean, even in our little villages, we're getting influxes of migrants in mining villages and all sorts. So
it's spreading. It's not just London, it's not just Manchester. It's spreading out up north at all these towns and cities, villages everywhere. Nowhere safe at the minute. I feel like this government is just incompetent.
Have you seen in your area? Have you seen like crime go up because of these migrants? Have you seen it? Like yeah, you've seen crime.
We've seen it, yeah.
You've seen it.
We've seen it. We're seeing all sorts of parents on Facebook, everything posting about them, harassing young girls. It's got to stop, mate. It's got to stop. People have had enough.
I've had enough. Well, I hope today.
It's nothing about colour, race, religion. Nothing about that. Everyone's united for this country, for what we want to be, for what we once was. And it's just like Keir Starmer, the government before that have been ignorant to it. We've got to start listening to us.
Because people have said, you know, the only way the government's going to listen is when we hit them in their pocket and we start boycotting all of these, you know, we like going to our football matches. You know, if we start making a stand, they say people start making a stand in Britain, then they'll start listening to us.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. People, if they want change, they've got to stand up. They've got to make change. You can't just sit there and expect it because they're just not listening to us.
Not listening. I think you know, I think sometimes we kind of, I think everybody's always united, and then come football, we're all divided. Where I think we should kind of just be united, all front sport, with everything, you know.
Exactly, I agree, bro. 100%. I'm with that.
My brother, I appreciate today. People, but like you're saying, guys, a lot of people are just really here for their own different causes, their own different reasons. Hello, mate. Hello, bro. How are you?
Yeah, mate.
I love your little flag there.
Thank you.
Where have you come from today?
Southeast, Hastings.
Okay, take for a while to get here? Take a while to get here?
Hour on the train.
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, what was your reasons for coming today then?
Just stand for our country. Yeah.
What does it mean to stand for your country though? What does that mean though?
To oppose what's being done to it by the government, I suppose. Because the mass illegal immigration, the absolute betrayal of the British people. I mean, all of the rape gangs, the grooming gangs, that the government and the legacy media, they don't want to talk about. So we have to.
Do you feel anything, you being here, like people will say, call you racist, or do you feel now?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
There's far too many of us.
Yeah.
There's more of us than the opposition, and the people who are on the opposition who will call us racist are either ignorant or they're brainwashed.
Brainwashed, yeah.
Because a lot of these people, they do not have two brain cells to rub together, and the ones that do end up coming to our side anyway.
In here, being journalism, you know, me just, you know, being neutral, you know, because that's what I think we kind of need to be, is a bit neutral, because the more we say, if you're on that side or on this side, is the more the vibe gets more drawn.
The more the merrier.
More
than happy to have like an open engagement with anybody. It's just the ones on the left, they don't. They're the violent ones.
Exactly, and it's like they're telling me, they say, you know, you're a man of colour, how can you be coming to this? You know, you're a sellout, you know, you're this, that, and I think, you know, it's like...
You integrate and you love Britain and you hold Britain's culture in regard to your own, is equal in regard to your own, you're more than welcome to be here.
Love everyone.
And I think people are forgetting what this country has done for them.
Can have their own beliefs as well, as long as it's not toxic towards everybody else. They don't give they don't get any bother with the bloody Hindus, they don't get any problem with the Sikhs. No. The last time I saw a problem with Sikhs was when they were a bit upset about having to wear crash helmets.
You know the damage that's been done. Do you think it can ever be changed and fixed, or do you think it's far too gone now?
I think I'd be completely I'd be a fatalist if I said no. I think it's incredibly difficult. And you see, when you say this straight away, you're branded as a racist, and I'm not. One of my best friends in the military was a black guy called Walford P. Horton. He was from Jamaica. And the other guy I got on really well with a guy called Jimmy Lau. He was Indian.
But when you say that I have a black friend, they say, oh, that's the sign of a racist.
Yeah,
that's what they say.
Yeah, because I've got black friends, so therefore I can't be. No, I'm not bothered. I couldn't give it. You could be the colour of a Pinky and Perky record. You know, I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's right.
As long as
what colour you are.
You accept that I like going to the chippy.
Always been multicultural.
You accept that I might like to go to the pub. I might like to watch weirdos dancing around maypoles and doing Morris dancing, but that's eccentric Brit. That's what we do.
It's eccentric, but that's our history.
Because I think a lot of it gets in confusion when people say, well, what does it mean to be British? Tell me then. And you know, I think a lot of people...
That's really, really, really difficult.
Yes.
I think on the one hand, words they're saying we've had enough of what's going on and letting everybody, you're all welcome. We can't do it. We're a small country. So we talk about biodiversity, how we've got problems with building new houses because we've populated and we no, being British is he's been very, very tolerant, getting on with people, sense of fair play, and based upon Christian values.
Christian values, yeah.
Don't have to go to church necessarily, and I'll be honest, I don't believe in God, but I believe in Christian values. In fact, the only really there's two things in the Ten Commandments I broke. Rules was that sex before marriage. I broke that rule.
Oh, you bought the sex before marriage rule?
I think a lot of people do. And also, thou shalt not covet another man's wife. That's thought control.
That's thought control. Yeah. Well, I think I always say, if you're a good person to people, you do good. You don't really need to be so for a hard religious person. As long as you're doing good, you're being a moral-abiding citizen. That's all more that you need to do.
Also, when we look at stuff, you talk about Islam, I don't see it as a faith. I see it as an ideology.
Yeah.
As opposed to a faith. I really do.
As opposed to a faith, yeah.
And I can't quote it verbatim. Certainly not in Arabic, but I've read it twice. It's toxic.
Nice to meet you. Bro, is this the first time at this protest?
Yeah, it
is. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's my first time as well. Okay. So I've come down. What was your reason of coming today then?
Because they arrested him for terrorism yesterday. That's really outrageous.
That they arrested Tommy for terrorism, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fact that they use a terrorism act. There's him today, it could be you and I tomorrow. It's a real bad
This is what I'm saying, and I think that guy, that Peter Lynch, the one who
who died.
Yeah, he hailed abuse, and I think people got to look into it a bit more deeply and think, you know what, well, if you diss the government next time, you may not even be on this side, you may be whatever side you're on, it's lost that freedom of speech.
So Keir Starmer's done a lot of damage to this country. You've got to stand up against them.
And I think for me now, people say to me, being a man of colour, being here today, that I'm a coconut, I'm a sellout.
They say that?
They say that to me.
Really?
They say that to me.
They don't understand.
They don't understand. So anybody that looks at you and say, as a black man, what are you doing here? What's the message that you say to them?
England has got a tradition, a Protestant Catholic heritage tradition, which is good, it's noble. Yes, it's done some things that are questionable in the past, but it's the only thing we have, and destroying it for political correctness, for left-wing cultural Marxists like Keir Starmer can run down the country and turn us all into authoritarian robots. No thank you.
No thank you. You know when people say also as well,
Have a photo with you, please. Oh, sorry, you're in the interview.
No, go have a photo with us.
Yeah, mate. We're so far right, you should be really scared.
I know, I should be scared, I'm intimidated, I'm afraid.
I know, it's mental, isn't it?
Mental, yeah, I was just talking to the guy, a lot of people say, there will be a lot of eyebrows, and I'll probably lose a few followers of being here and doing journalism. People say, what are you doing here? You're a man of colour, what are you doing here? And that people don't get it, it's deeper than race, it's bigger than race. It's not even race.
It doesn't even touch the sides. We're being put in boxes, we're being controlled. We're being told how to live our lives. We are human, and they are the tyrants.
We're told when to go on a holiday. We're told when to go to bed. We're told when to eat. When we should do this. We're not free.
We're going to be taxed to the hilt. And that's going to keep going up. We're not going to be able to even decide how we're going to spend our pension soon. It's getting ridiculous.
Is a pension even still worth it now? That's the question.
Sure it won't be.
And it's sickening, that people who have built the country and, that have paid into this old people are now getting their winter fuel bills cut.
Yeah, precisely. They've worked hard all their lives and they've got nothing to look forward to apart from being cold and frozen to death.
And you know why they're doing that? Because, most old people die in December and January and February. The most year you people die is January, February. December, January and February is most time people die.
Yeah.
When you come to these protests, are you ever worried about the backlash? Do you get any backlash I come here
Not really, no, because in one breath, if it comes on top, so maybe I might have to worry about my job. But at the same time, look how many people are here. They've allowed this protest to happen, so it can't be that bad. True. Nothing's kicked off.
True.
I mean, they've got all the riot police here, but that just because of the name Tommy fucking Robinson. But it's look at it, nothing's happening. Look at how many different people, different colours, different sizes, different.
So what do you want changed then? What do you want changed for your country then?
Well, for start, him in power. Well, to be fair, it's not even just him. It's the people before him. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
I'm as working class as you are, as everyone else is that's around here. No matter where we live, the colour of our skin. Like, as a working class man, the country's actually being suffered due to inflation, due to farming, due to stop it. As soon as you say stop the boats, they call it racist. Or it's not.
What do you think?
There's not enough space in this country to house this many extra people.
Do you think a lot of people will say that these migrants don't really bring nothing to the country? Do you believe they don't though?
No. They do. So some of them obviously do. And I'm saying, like, some of them, it's good. It's good because it brings diversity to our country. It brings everything to our country. The people who want to improve and adapt to our country. But there's so many people out there that don't even want to adapt to our cultures. That don't even want to learn the English language. That don't want to adapt to our style of life. And that's where it goes wrong.
What do you say to those? What do you say to those that are pushing for harsher Muslim Sharia laws? What would you?
We're not a Sharia law state. We're not a Muslim state. At the end of the day, there's Muslims in our country, which is fine. Like, I get it. Like, everyone is allowed in our country, but we're not a Muslim state. We're a Christian state. Like, at the end of the day, that is the be all and end all. We're a Christian state. So
I think me coming here and standing here being a man of colour, I get told I'm a seller. I get told, like, yo, I'm Uncle Tom, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm neutral. I'm just like, I'm not on no side. Yeah, I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to give everybody a voice. You know what I'm trying to say?
No one has to agree with this. This shows you. All you got to do is just watch, because it just shows you truth about what's being lied to. And then once you realise that this is the truth, because it's factual. Yes or no? It's factual. But so once you realise that, you got to start. You might. I'm not saying everyone does, but you might start thinking, oh, maybe I should start looking into this. Maybe I should start looking into that. Then you realise there's a lot of stuff being.
But what they don't tell you, alright, cool. There's many people coming over the boats, but how many people actually died on the boats? You know what I'm trying to say?
This sounds. Don't take this the wrong way. But from where they come from X amount of countries to then cross the channel to come to this country. All them countries from A to B before they cross the channel are all safe countries. But they still want to come here because they know where, as a state and our government is weak, and we'll just allow it. So they know they get away with murder, basically. Well, some of them actually do get away with murder.
There's a hotel worker working on the Margaret Hotel who got murdered by an 18-year-old.
Well, the one about over the biscuits in Warsaw.
I saw it in the news when I woke up. Please, no one's getting fitted. There's no fitting at all, no background checks. Who knows what we're bringing in the country? There's good and bad people everywhere. There's good and bad people everywhere. Don't get me wrong. Good and bad.
All right, cool. If you're saying, yo, you want to bring these migrants in, what would you like the government to do? Put them in a detention centre, run checks on them?
No. You've got to vet them first.
You vet them how? Like, how do you vet them?
A lot of the time you can't, because they chuck their passports in the fucking channel. Because, so there's no way of tracking who they are, where they're from, what they're coming for, what they're fleeing from. If they're fleeing from an actual war zone, they don't want to be part of it, fine. As long as they're vetted properly and they want to be part of our culture, they want to respect our culture, they want to integrate into our society, fine. But then a lot of them, they just want to do their own thing in our country because they know they're going to get given a hotel room or a flat, get given fucking benefits. Like, at the end of the day, like, there's people in my family that claim benefits. I'm not saying benefits is a bad thing. Benefits helps the people that are working class,
who need it. There is some people that can actually not work.
That need a little leg up. But then these people come and claim it because they can. Which is why they're skipping Belgium, France, Germany, everywhere, coming straight to here because they know it's.
That's what I'm saying. Because then people will say, well, if you're this is not what I say. I have to, because people think do you know what I'm saying? Well, if you're fleeing a war-torn country, why wouldn't you go France, Belgium? That's what people say. Why wouldn't you go there?
Would you not fight for your country as well?
Some people are.
But the only reason why they're fleeing and they're moving through all these countries is because they know they've got the best opportunities here, and they know drop of a hat. They're getting everything they need here. Like the French police are shooing them onto boats to come to here through the channel. Why?
Do you believe the media are purposely trying to portray something now with this Chris Cabba? Have you heard about that when he got shot down? What do you think about that though? Your opinion though.
But you know he's passed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's why he should have been shot. But for one, from the police side of which, bearing in mind, I'm not on no side of the old bill.
I get you.
The police knew his past. They've cornered him. I don't know the ins and outs of this, like, but there's reports that...
You think that was the right decision then for the quit the police? Your opinion, or you can say your opinion.
But I'm not one to say whether or not he should have been shot or not, but there's been reports of him trying to drive and slam into police, and as an armed response officer, if someone's, it don't matter what sort of attack they're planning, if someone's attacking, like, you have access to a lethal weapon.
They saw him passing a gun in the club or something. There was a shooting in club in Hackney or Brixton.
He should have, to be honest, he should have stopped though. He should have stopped. Obviously, if you see armed police, he should have stopped.
Stop. I don't think he would have killed. Yeah. Again, what mate was saying, as an arms, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's got weapons in the car. He didn't have weapons in the car, fair enough. But he should have took that lethal kill. But you just don't know what could potentially happen. And I know you're sorry.
As I was saying to your friend, you reckon if they bought Sharia law into this country, it would make it better?
No, it's not happening.
That's not happening.
No, because we're a Christian state. You can't, like, there's no way that can happen without an uproar. At the end of the day, like, you have all of, like...
I'm not saying I'm against Sharia law or anything, but I'm just going to give you this like example. Like, obviously, when I was in Afghanistan, when I went over there to video and all of that, you know, if anybody kind of steals, they'll chop your hand off. Do you think, like, them type of things, it gives people deterrence, or do you think sometimes...
No, because it's just going to cause uproar in this society.
But if you look back to
there's no way that can happen, because at the end of the day, yes, but we are still a majority. Look here. You can do whatever you want, but we are a Christian state. No one's going to let it happen. No one's going to overthrow it. That means the crown, the state, like the king, the royal family have to go. That all the government have to be overthrown. That means they're not going to let that happen. Even though they want the whole society to be equal, liberal, this, that. It's just not going to happen. We are a Christian state, and there's no way about it. You're not going to let...
Yeah, my brother. Yeah, man. I see you, man. You know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say you sold out.
Bro, I was gonna coconut. They say you coconut. I'm like, I like coconut, so it's tasty, innit?
Sorry. Police investigation, but only 11 were charged. Why is that? I have eyewitnesses who saw you taking envelopes of money off of Pakistani gangs. A deliberate attempt to cover up these crimes against little girls for fear of being called racist. There are 5 dead females at the hands of these gangs in Telford. They've had novel processing, then they're shipped to hotels up and down this country. And you've seen some of them living in 5-star hotels, some of them are living in bed and breakfast. Good question, David. Would you rape her after our medical rape her?
You have lied, you have played your part, and all of you who call yourself journalists, you all knew what was happening to those girls in all of those towns and cities, and you said nothing, you said nothing.
What were you doing hanging around with 13-year-old school children?
What we'll ask is if you bear with me a little bit, because I've been parachuted in to host today's event, and it is an event. This isn't a demonstration, this is an event of unity and harmony, and we're going to do this peacefully because it's what we deserve. Let's remember why we're here. We all want change. And now under the Labour government, we've got to change the approach because they're not here for us. Tim Peace, Peter Lynch, and let's make sure we do him a good turn in this family today. Come on! Come on! Let's do it! Yes! And I also appreciate that emotions are going to be running high because Tommy isn't here today, sadly, to have his final say before he gets his freedom snatched on Monday. And it's insane when you think from a very young age, from babies, from toddlers, we're encouraged to tell the truth. Tell the truth, don't lie. If you lie, you get in trouble. And yet here we are, with Tommy just about to go to jail for telling the truth, and we're under a government that feeds us lies. Keir Starmer is not my Prime Minister, is he yours? One request before I start moving this on. I was with Tommy in Spain last week, making sure he was exercising and keeping his head straight and eating his greens. So we have spoken.
What was your reason? And what?
So for me, I've been watching. I've never been to a Tommy Robison rally. I'm not from the right, but you know, I'm not an Israel supporter. But one of the things, I had a lecturer who quoted to me someone in George Bush's administration who said, "We need to poke the Muslim nations in order to bring about the times of the end as prophesied in the Bible." There have been people openly in the deep state, the neocons in America, they want World War III. And this is the thing, so I'm not about like being against anyone in particular. You know, like look, I'm about humanity, and I understand. You know, it's all by design. They invite people who hate the West in on purpose, and I don't. For me, it's quite important. Like I won't smear like a whole group with one brush ever. I'll never do that. We're in a moment of awakening. What are we awakening to? People are starting to understand that the people in that building over there, they don't serve us. Maybe we elect them, but when they get in there, it's not us that they answer to. People are starting to understand they answer to other forces, the World Economic Forum, the Bilderberg Club, all these people. But if you start going up, and you know, in this country we've got a massive network of Masons run by the royal family. At the highest level of the Masons, those people are into all kinds of satanic rituals. So, but this is the question, to fully understand why is this happening? These disparate groups, who are they controlled by? And ultimately, it's becoming a power by keeping us against each other's throats. So it's not about.
We've never been free. We've never been free. You're told when you're meant to go to bed. You're told when you're meant to go eat. You're told when you're meant to take a holiday.
I wouldn't say that. Listen, you've got to distinguish between the Zionists and the Jews, for one thing.
Yes, two different things.
For one thing. And even like there are many Jews who don't support Israel. This is what I mean. You can't tar everyone with one brush. Ultimately, BBC is controlled by many interests. They're controlled by the government. They're controlled by Zionists. Have a lot of control in the media, but they're also controlled by the pharmaceutical companies. But this is what I mean. Zionism isn't the top. Zionism, I believe, is an element of the New World Order agenda, but there are elements above that. The irony for me, I know certain Jews who are awake to the pandemic and everything else. Of course. And I think that Jews need to recognise Zionism clearly doesn't benefit Arabs, but it doesn't benefit Jews either. But ultimately, this is the thing. There's a lot of positive things I've seen here today. I'm not about.
Are you scared that you coming here, people may think, oh, you're supporting this a little bit?
I mean, look. I didn't come to the last one. I didn't come to the last one precisely because I'm about uniting humanity against the 1% elite parasites, and I do worry. You know, we had this amazing thing by 2022. There was this growing movement all around the world of united humanity against the elites. Then they pulled Ukraine on us, which split people. Then they pulled, as far as I'm concerned, October the 7th was quite clearly a false flag attack. Both sides are controlled by the same hidden hand. Hamas was being funded by the Israeli government. So all of these things are placed there again so that we get lost in the weeds and we forget that.
Do you think it's a distraction? Do you think it's a big distraction?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's real. It's real what's happening in Gaza. And of course. Look, my heart heart bleeds for those, what happens in Gaza is terrible. And I know that like, Israelis are affected as well, but this is the point. People have to wake up and realise it's not about us versus each other, it's about us.
Do you agree with the Palestine marches? Or are you just like,
I've got friends who go on them. You know.
How's your relationship with them when you're saying what you're saying? Because they must not agree with some things that you're probably agreeing with, or do they?
Well, I mean, look, historically, I've been pro-Palestine, pro-Palestinian rights. I've got friends on both sides of that divide.
So what is it that you come here today for then? What's your reason?
So I've come here today to share the gospel.
Share the gospel.
There's a lot of Christians here.
There's a lot of Christians here, and I was like surprised how a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and people responding really well to the gospel.
Counteracting what you've just said to me. What's your defense to what they say? That what's your defense to what they say?
Well, I believe Christianity is all about the person of Jesus Christ. Like, it's not really about the culture. It's just about the historical figure of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And for example, like, I've got Jewish friends, and I've got Jewish friends who have become a Christian because in that Old Testament it talks all about Jesus, man. And I'll take to my Muslim friends, they believe that Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus Christ means Messiah.
Okay.
But as believers, we believe he was crucified, died, risen again, and I think that's the breaking point.
This country probably needs Sharia law and other. What would your message to be that?
Well, from a Christian angle, I'll say like you can pick about Sharia law and say it's immoral and everything, like stoning people, throwing homosexuals off roofs and stuff like that. But I believe Sharia law is not good because it's not true. I believe Christianity is true and Islam's not true. And if Islam was true, then what's Sharia law? But because Islam's not true, I'm going to preach the gospel. Do you know what I'm saying?
The leftists, these people try to silence you by smearing you. They use their fear and propaganda tactics to shut you up. It is now clear from our grassroots to England. I stand before you, asking you to join me in the new right and to stand for justice. To the political liberal elites, I say this. There will be no mercy. There will be no diplomacy. And there will be no surrender. Let me make it absolutely clear to the liberal elite traitors. UKIP is coming for you, and we will have justice for your crimes against the British people. Prove it! Fucking prove it! Friends, let us talk solutions. Let us rid our nation of communist parasites, of the Islamists, of the migrants who are here to colonise, and of those who refuse to assimilate, and let us deport the 5 million people who do not deserve to be here. Friends, let us offer the British people a referendum on the death penalty. With your permission, I want to transform this great patriotic movement into real political action and change. Let us rebuild Britain.
But what you say, so you got a daughter then, yeah?
So I've got two daughters. One is 9 years old and one is 10 months old. I'm just worried about their future in this country because I hear of a lot of stories. They're not even like made up stories, but the media is, the mainstream media. About people like rapes, acid attacks. That's to spin it up. And I just want my little girls to grow up in a safe environment. I want their future to be blessed. I don't, you know. And it feels like Keir Starmer he's actually like having a go at anyone who dares to stand against this, you know, and he's throwing people in jail. He's kicked out a load of criminals. Like some of them are legal migrants, but it's also like native people. But the point is, we shouldn't have this mad influx of people that can damage our society. That here, you know, without being, there's a lot of women feeling like intimidated now, and because there's diversity, it works.
What do you, or any politician that's listened to you or does see this video, what do you want them to do? What do you want them to do?
I want them to accept that we do actually have a problem with mass immigration and illegal immigration.
You agree stopping the boats then?
Yes, of course. Like, if it was the other way around, if I rocked up to some other country on a boat, like, do you know what I mean? They're gonna sink it or they'll send me home. And why should it work one way? I've been homeless before. I lived in a tent in an underpass, bruv. It was a nightmare trying to get housing, and you know, everything was backed up, so the dentist, my little girl had a cough the other day, we took her to the hospital, we had to wait 8 hours, you know what I mean?
8 hours?
8 hours,
for your little girl to have a coffee?
Hospital, yeah.
Well, I was hearing that a lot of migrants that are coming here, they're getting fast-tracked to go dentist appointments, all of it, yeah.
So I don't,
have you ever cried or ever got upset about what's going on? Does it ever bring tears to your eyes? Or?
Mate, I'm a geezer, I don't cry much.
You can cry.
I get upset about it, of course.
Men do cry, tough men do cry.
I'm here today, I travelled for 2.5 hours to get here, do you know what I mean? Luton, actually, funnily enough. But my uncle comes from the West Country and loads of his friends, so people have been travelling from all over the UK because they feel so passionate about this, because it's scary, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's why? Look, there's a sign there that says "Unsafe Britain." Look, if you actually look around, it doesn't seem like, do you know what I mean? I don't think it would work. It feels like it's it's 2-tier, isn't it? 2-tier. It's fucking, it's one rule, and then you see the police running away from all the non-white people, like, that are attacking people in the streets. I'm not being racist, yeah. I'm just saying that when it's like working class white people, they've got the horses.
Yeah, people say sometimes, like, people of colour, if they're coming to these things, they're a seller. What would you say about that?
No, man, this is about representing. Remember, our grandfathers, our parents fought for this country.
Fought for this country.
My grandfather was a war veteran for this country.
War veteran for this country.
The first Prime Minister of Barbados was a navigator in the Second World War.
Second World War.
First Prime Minister of Barbados.
Yeah.
So you have to represent what our family fought for. My family came and built this country, and it's sad to see
people are coming here and taking the piss.
Yes. And I know personally, I've got a very long immigration history in this country. I've seen people at the time, an advisor, because I was very strong in immigration, so I was advising them. But I was in a detention center, and I seen people lie and come to the country and take the piss.
Because people then say, well, if you're a man of colour, and like my family who came from Jamaica, why are we saying about the immigration needs to be looked at? They're saying, wasn't you, your father and you, like my granddad, an immigrant? But I always say, well, immigration then was a different time.
Yes, it was a different time. Don't forget, they wanted us.
They wanted us here.
They wanted us here. Don't forget also,
Don't like pedophiles
whether it's
either.
white,
Yeah.
whether it's Asian, if you're troubling kids.
Hell out, we're coconuts, we're Uncle Tom, so we're just saying, yo, he's saying when he first came, he was saying, yeah, he might have thought Tommy Robinson was, but then he really looked in, he's against grooming gangs of any race, Asian, black, white, yellow, whatever.
Of course. I mean, I think anyone who holds a different political opinion should all understand that any crime is harmful.
Especially against kids.
Yeah, of course. If you take the Office of National Statistics data, most grooming and pedophilia happens by people who happen to be Caucasian, especially in the UK. The percentage per capita is wildly high. You've got a lot of media in this country since about 2010 who ensure a right-wing narrative. There's not many documentations of multiple other gangs except black gang culture in London. Most gangs in the UK are white. The Glasgow gangs commit more crime and harm against people of their local community by capita than any other gang in London. That's true, that's correct. Specifically, incites either directly or indirectly harm and hate on people.
Okay, hypothetically, say you wanted to move to Australia.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't just go into Australia on a boat. You know, you'd have to go through the right procedures to go to Australia though.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel like I'm not against it. Well, I'm saying it, I'm not against it if it's done probably the right way. Because like I was saying to this brother, our fathers and this man himself came from Barbados. My granddad came from Jamaica, but he was #1 invited here and it was done kind of right way. I've been to Afghanistan, I've been to Somalia, you can check my YouTube channel. That was amazing. It was what the media tell you. You see, the media will tell you two different things. They will tell you Tommy's a bad man, he's racist, he caused violence, and they'll also tell you the Taliban are really dangerous people. But what the Taliban wanted was their own country and their own rules. It's like me coming, when I went to Afghanistan, when I had to have a passport, a visa, an invitation letter. If I did not have that, they would arrest me. At all times I had to have my passport.
Yeah, of course. And so I think the thing is, it's like
today, as I stood here, I've been here over 30 years. I've probably been here more longer than you.
And me.
I'm still fighting for my case. I never commit a crime. I'm still facing deportation. We've got people in this country that I pay my taxes. I've got P45 since the 90s. I am facing deportation.
To the port. When a Jamaican or a Caribbean does a crime, they send you right back. But why is it that some people will say, I have to say, because I'm trying to stay neutral, but I've seen it. When other ethnic minorities or other countries commit a crime, they don't deport them. They don't deport them.
Because if we didn't have that human rights here, no immigrants would be coming here. If we didn't have those Christian values here that we build this society on, I know it's a secular dogma, but it's still built on Christian values. No immigrants would be coming there. We have a peaceful offering for them. That's Jesus Christ. That's where they come here. And we can offer that because we have love. But they're not coming here with love, not all of them. There are people out there that genuinely want help. But there are people that are also taking the piss. And we need to filter out those. And that's why we have marches like this. To filter out the idiots. To filter out the pedophiles.
So what are you saying, that you've seen immigration rip up their passports? Yeah, bless. So you've seen immigration rip up passports?
No, I've seen migrants. Comes from Africa and other countries. And they rip up their passports. Remember a couple of years ago they were claiming to be kids. So they couldn't get deported because you can't deport a kid that came to underage. I sat in a detention center for 3 months. Married to an English woman. Never commit a serious crime. I went to jail for driving while disqualified. That's what my crime was. 3 times. And I seen them rip up passports, claim, and then went out, lied to the judge, got asylum falsely.
But what you're saying is, with the Caribbeans, and I have seen it, they deport them.
Yes, they deport us. Afghanistan, everybody else is coming there. I'm not calling it as the name, but those bad migrants that come in here, the bad ones, they're genuine people that come here. Remember back in the 90s, we had Somalians came here during the famine. We had the Indians come here. Again, we welcome them all because we are loving people. But don't come to the country and take the piss. That's what they've done.
How do you think they're taking the piss? They're coming to this country. How do you think that? What do you think they do? What do you see? Like you said, they got driving cars. What would you see?
For me, the first thing of taking the piss is don't respect the values of the country.
What is the values?
Whatever that country values is.
Okay.
If you go to Jamaica, I have to respect Jamaica values. I have to go to Afghanistan, I have to live by their values. When they come here, they should live by our values. Don't try to change it. And I've seen that's been happening. Free speech is going down the drain. It is going down the drain. So,
and you know, some people who look at all these protesters that are coming here and said something, and they haven't thrown nothing or fought any police officers, but they've said something, and then now they're getting locked up for 2 years.